제20회 제주포럼에 참석해주신 여러분, 지금부터 탈세계화 시대 새로운 개발 협력 방식의 모색 세션을 시작하겠습니다. 원활한 행사 진행을 위해서 휴대전화는 매너 모드로 전환해 주시길 바랍니다. 본 행사는 한국어, 영어로 동시 진행됩니다. 통역을 원하시는 분들께서는 자리에 놓여진 통역기를 착용하시기 바랍니다. 한국어는 1번, 영어는 2번입니다.
Please make sure your cell phone is either off or on silent mode. Korean and English simultaneous interpretation is provided in this session. If you would like interpretation, please use the receiver provided at your seat. Korean is channel 1, English is channel 2.
Okay, can we start? This is a really wonderful day in Jeju Island, and this is my great honor to be the chairperson of this very important session. And I have very, eminent speakers from Korea, Uzbekistan, Japan. This is really a great session, and you know that we are living in a very different world these days, which is very much depicted as a VUCA world. The VUCA means volatile and uncertain, ambiguous, and complex. Okay, that represent the abbreviation of the volatility and uncertainty and complexity and ambiguity. We are living in this kind of very, very difficult period. And as you see that we see a lot of the conflict in the global political scenery. As you see, we have Ukraine wars, Middle East wars, and there is of course that the tensions between North Korea and South Korea, and also the Taiwan Strait, the Taiwan and China relations. So we are living in a very uncertain area. And besides, every country is faced with the climate change crisis, right? All of a sudden, Korea become one of the subtropical countries. We have a heavy rain in April, right? And I'm now staying in Tashkent, and also the climate of Tashkent used to be very nice, but sometimes we have snow and rain, and the more the desert. We are having more and more desert, and so this kind of a common crisis we are facing. And so we need lots of cooperation among the countries, mostly among the Asian countries, first of all. Of course, we want the global cooperation on these climate issues and geopolitical tensions. Of course, we have to do it, but as a first place, we may start with the regional cooperation and collaboration among Asian countries. And so we need to develop some creative collaboration, not just the traditional way of collaboration. We have to think about what are the new ways of the collaboration to solve this kind of global issues as well as the VUCA world. So today we are very lucky to have professors and experts from different part of the Asia, mostly Japan, and this time very especially Uzbekistan. And so, but my role as chairperson is control the time. That's what the organizing committee asked me very strictly. So I have to finish by 3 o'clock. So I will allocate 20 minutes to the main speaker, Dr. Lee of the SNU, and then the other three, discussion, you may have 10 minutes each. Okay, so please keep the time. And so we'll start with the main speaker, of today, Dr. Lee's presentation for 20 minutes. But before his presentation, I may want to introduce him briefly. And Professor Lee, we knew each other for a long time, but he's distinguished professor not only at the Chungang University, but is the Seoul National University. He has been serving the Seoul National University as eminent economist for a long time, and he's currently the president of the Korean Economic Association, the most prestigious economics scholarly association. And also he published so many books, but most impressively, he's the only Korean, maybe only a few in the world, who published at the Cambridge Press. And that's very prestigious. He published 3 books in a row at the Cambridge Press. Is that right?
Yes.
Right? Yes. On all the keywords and catch-up. This is one of the main textbooks in the development economics, I think. And so he studied at the University of Berkeley, and now please give him a warm hands.
Thank you, Chairman, for nice introduction. It's a great honor for me to speak at this Jeju Forum. I know Jeju Forum has been going on for many years, and it's first time for me to attend this session, so it's very special for me to be in this forum. Okay? So my role is today is about kind of initiating the session with the goal of setting global agenda in broader perspective. And this is my title. I'll talk about new mode of development cooperation in the age of deglobalization. So, as we now experiencing, we are now living in the new world which we call deglobalization, which started from 2008 global financial crisis. Then we have 2016 Brexit, it's a major setback against globalization. Then from 2018, with the Trump first term, we had a US-China trade war, which is a setback against trade-based globalization. Then we have a pandemic, corona crisis. It's a major blow against production globalization, or which leading to fragmentation of global value chain. Okay. Then 3 years ago we had a war between Russia and Ukraine, and that's another major momentum for deglobalization. Then finally, from this year, Trump term 2 is a final stage of our march to deglobalization, as he initiated universal and reciprocal tariff. So we are now living in the era of deglobalization. And as economists, I think there are 3 key themes emerging. First, globalization is gone, we are now bringing back the government, role of state, in the form of industrial policies. So we are seeking new mode of growth and new mode of global value chain. And also finally, new mode of development cooperation. That's what we are discussing today in this session. So, as mentioned by Chairman, I have recently published this book, Innovation Development Detours for Latecomers, from Cambridge Press. It's open access, you can free to download. And in the several chapters are very closely linked to this topic today. Chapter 3, I discuss about how to manage global local interface to manage the economic development. You got to be open, we got to manage the interface with a strategic vision to bring on more locally owned companies. Chapter 5 is about Korean model of development. I draw a lesson from Korean experience. Okay? So my brief talk today is involving these 2 chapters in the book. So also last year, World Bank has a major annual flagship report focusing on middle income trap. So middle income trap means countries are growing fast in low income stages, but they face growth slowing down after they reach upper middle income stages. So it shows that growth rate of middle income countries are falling down. Used to be 5% average in 2000 decade, and then reduced to 5% in 2010, but now recently 4%. So this is an important issue for global community, how to sustain growth in global south, especially middle income countries are key issues for IMF, World Bank, for every country and their citizens. So what is middle income trap definition? It is usually regarded as if you cannot cross the 40% bar, your income level in PPP is less than 40% of US level for many decades, then it is called you are stuck in middle income trap. So this graph shows that Korea already surpassed that range about 1990 early. So now reached about 70%, which is same as Japan, UK, France, and Italy. And Mexico, Thailand, and many other countries still remain below 40% for many decades. Only recently, Malaysia, Chile is crossing the bar, becoming reach about 45%, 50% of US level. So I consider these two are the next countries after Korea or East Asian tigers who might be escaping from middle income trap. Then what's the lesson from these two countries? That's important issues. So the East Asian experience is based on manufacturing-based growth. But I found that Chile, Malaysia is not doing same formula, but they are focusing on some different industries. Okay? Although they relied on the industrial policy and some market opening. So for Malaysia, it is not their IT, E&E sector, but palm oil, rubber, and petroleum product, which is leading their economic growth beyond the income trap. For Chile, it is not copper, but fruit, wine, salmon, and wood product. Okay? So their success is not based on just free market magic, but based on active industrial policies for a long time to building up local capabilities. So this shows palm oil export from Malaysia. They used to export only unprocessed, low value added palm oil, but now on to high value added processed palm oil. It's a major improvement, which is the source of their high value added based export orientation. Okay? And this shows the contribution of several sectors in Malaysian export. It's showing that these three resource sectors are exporting as much as Malaysia's IT, electronic sectors. Also in terms of trade balance contribution, they are contributing the Malaysian trade surplus as much as, sometimes more than electronic and electric sectors. So it is really dollar earning sectors, very important for Malaysia. How is it become feasible? Okay. So this is example of not IT manufacturing based growth, but resource based, resource processing manufacturing. There are two types of manufacturing. One is assembly, which is IT, the other is resource processing. Okay. And in this period of deglobalization, it makes more sense to rely on resource available in your country to using that as a source for growth, because nowadays GDP is too much fragmented. You are just for too many value chain of the world is risky factors. Okay. And Malaysia started this. They tried to export processed palm oil to Europe, other countries. The European countries starting charge tariff against Malaysian processed, where zero tariff against unprocessed palm oil. It's very sad situation. So how Malaysia solved the problem? They did a hostile takeover of a British-owned plantation in London Stock Exchange. That solved the problem. Okay, so that's all dispute between UK and Malaysia. Then added to this is the Malaysian initiative to innovation R&D, so that this sector become more innovation-oriented, knowledge-based, and high-value. Indonesia has a recently similar experience. India's biggest producer of nickel, but they ban nickel export unless it is processed. So again, similar effort to boost the local value. Okay, so they invited some Chinese and Korean investors, so that the nickel has become now more refined, processed nickel export, which is good. But for me, it is somewhat mixed success because they still rely on just conversion FDI mode. Now they're promoting Indonesian-based local companies. So it's some success, but still, long-term they should promote local company rather than just relying on FDI. Okay. So in this context, I'd like to introduce the Korean experiences. How Korea company build up their technical capabilities. I call it GPG model. First G means that R&D is done jointly by government research institute and the public sectors. Early days, only government research institute did R&D. Then they transfer outcome to private sectors, in-charge manufacturing such as Samsung, LG. This is case of Korean promotion of Korean-born telephone switches, fixed line switches. In 1980s. At the time, Korea used to import all telephone switches. But Korea decided to domesticate these switches by mobilizing domestic R&D consortium between public research organization and private manufacturing companies. After they developed and start producing by Samsung, LG, government protected this initial outcome by procurement and tariff. That's the beginning of Korean IT sectors. After that, several success followed, such as mobile phone, digital TV, and so on. But formula is basically the same, GPG model. Okay. So I like to modify this model to the context of global south in the name of FLG model. FL means the foreign, from and international agencies. L means local domestic companies, and G means local government. So early days, local governments trying to invite foreign entities, public or private company, in terms of transferring and cultivating local capabilities. So they do R&D together. But only later on, they become more independent, able to do their own R&D and getting in charge of more part of the production. So in early days, key channels should be diverse. First, licensing agreement, training by foreign expert, or co-development of some project technologies, or hiring of foreign trained, educated engineer scientists, and strategic alliances. So through various channels, they can try to cultivate local capabilities. Okay. So this is the four-stage model of FLG. The first stage is technology is done by foreign cooperation partners. Production is done by local company with licensing. Government provides protection. Second stage is R&D is now jointly done by foreign and domestic public sectors. Okay. Then third stage is now R&D is done jointly by domestic agents, domestic public agents, universities, research labs, or domestic companies. Okay. Finally, all government public sector role can be reduced so that everything is done by private. So over time, initially help of foreign or public, the building of local capabilities, and thereby eventually generate local capabilities. So, if I summarize my ideas, first, in this new era of deglobalization and GBC fragmentation, we need to seek diverse mode of growth and development, not just assembly type manufacturing, but also resource processing manufacturing, also maybe IT services, okay, where entry barrier is low. So in my book, I'm arguing that there are not only single pathways, but multiple pathways growth. Not only spatial manufacturing, but also resource processing manufacturing or IT services. But eventually, we should be able to bring up local companies after learning from or inviting FDI and MNCs. Otherwise, growth cannot be sustained. We might be falling into middle country. So we talk example of palm oil, rubber, and Malaysia, and Chile, salmon, wine, fruit, and furniture. You can expand this idea to bigger context. In other words, Global South should be able to export not just unprocessed coffee, but branded coffee. All coffee branded in the advanced countries. Why not? It can be done by emerging countries. I know Vietnam is trying to promote their own brand coffees. It has a lot of resources time. We should export not only just cocoa, but also chocolate. Not just milk, but cheese. Not grape, but wine. So these are very important productive business, all done by global north. It can be changed by effort from global south. So one matter is building capabilities in production and technologies. And then to do that, I suggest the modification of Korean GPG model to FLG model, which is suitable to countries in the global south. Thank you. 감사합니다.
Thank you, Dr. Lee, for your succinct explanation of the latecomer strategy following the FLG model and also keeping the time so well. Thank you. Okay, we have the second presentation by Professor Shimada of Japan, and we are lucky to have him today because he is so much experienced in the what we call ODA, Overseas Development, ODA aid, right? Assistant. Overseas Development Assistant, and he has served the JICA, Japanese International Cooperation Agency. You may have heard about KOICA this is the Korean version, but the JICA is Japanese version in charge of the ODA. And Japan is very generous to provide ample ODA to developing countries in the world. And Dr. Shimada is one of the key persons in that initiative. He served JICA for more than almost 20 years, and he was also worked in the UN, and he even stationed in Afghanistan for 4 years, right? 2 years. Okay, so he has the lively experience in providing ODA to developing countries. But now he's a professor at Li쓰메이칸대학교 University in the Graduate School of International Relations. And he's teaching economic development and so many other areas. And he studied at Deutsche University. And so we have very balanced speaker in the real life and academia. So please welcome Dr. Shimada.
Thank you, Chairman, for your introduction, and good afternoon, everybody. So, seemingly, we have lots of young people, so probably students, and so for me, it's like an everyday process in my university. I came from Kyoto, and Li쓰메이칸 University, it's difficult to say, even for Japanese people, so it's difficult, but please remember, Li쓰메이칸 University in Kyoto. Yes. Okay, so today I talk about Japanese ODA and the JICA based on my own experiences. Yeah, and I think so. I need to talk about what ODA is and what JICA is, but no time to talk about in detail. So anyway, ODA is aid by the offshore government, so Japanese government, Korean government, and JICA is aid agency like KOICA and USAID. I think so you have heard USAID. Recently, President Trump ordered, so dissolved. But anyway, from my own experience, I talk about the Japanese ODA and the JICA. And okay, I joined JICA 1994 for young generation, a long time ago. Yeah, but anyway, after graduating master course program in Tokyo, so I joined JICA. Then, yeah, Japan was the world's largest ODA donor. Yeah, anyway, Japan's government spent the most amount of money as an aid to developing countries. And from 1989 to 2000, almost 10 years, is the top donor. Yeah, at the time, so when I was in JICA, atmosphere like that, so we have enough budget, we have enough money, please spend it more. Yeah, please find projects, new projects, it's okay, we're going. Yeah, it's good time, yeah, but of course also, we can find some problems, but anyway, it's good time. And then at that time, JICA was the implementing agency for technical assistance and grant aid. Yes, in ODA, so we have some categories. Yeah, one is grant aid, so the money, providing money with no interest. The technical assistance is like sending some experts or receiving some training or something. For us, other category, so usually the ODA providing a loan, concessional loan, low interest rate, with grace period and a long-term repayment period. Anyway, yeah, at the time JICA was implementing agency for technical assistance and grant aid. And under the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, yeah, anyway, JICA is a governmental agency, however, under the guidance of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, so it was implementing their own project. And now, so that was 20 years ago or 30 years ago. Now, Japan is the third or fourth largest ODA donor country in the world. Yeah, downgrading every year after. From the beginning of the 21st century, in terms of the amount of the money, in terms of the amount of ODA, Japanese ranking is downgrading. So probably number one was the US. Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening now under the Trump administration, but anyway, the US. And Germany and the UK and sometimes France might be there providing more ODA to developing countries. And JICA is now responsible for not only technical assistance and grant aid, but also young loans. Yes, in Japan, we have a restructuring in the government. Yeah, the number of ministry decreased around 2000, almost 25 years ago. At the time, so Japan merged with other agency, OECF. OECF was an agency to provide concessional loan. Concessional is a soft loan. Yeah, low interest rate, repayment period is longer. Anyway, so kind money will be provided as a year loan. Yeah, but due to the restructuring of the governmental organization, yeah, JICA is merged with that agency. So now JICA is responsible for not only technical assistance and grant aid, and also the young loans, and anyway, quite large donor agency now. in the past 20 years, so actually past 25 years, things are changing globally. Yes, particularly for Japan, we need to address to the China. China has been growing the impact year by year. Of course now, so it was good for countries. And how to tackle to the China's influence is one of the issues we need to take care of. And of course we have many global issues. Post-conflict. Yes, and as I was introduced, I was stationed in Afghanistan almost 15 years ago. Actually, it was a good experience. Before the 9/11, so it happened in the New York, Washington DC, in the West. Post-conflict countries. Of course, we had post-conflict countries, but that was not so serious issue. However, after the 9/11, that becomes quite big challenges for not only military, politically, but also aid arena. And anyway, so in the 20th century, I don't think so. Japan will not go into the Afghanistan because it's quite unstable, risky. However, after the 9/11, the government decided to go to the Afghanistan and Iraq and Syria and other countries as well. Of course, so we needed to get along with the U.S. government. That's why. So we have to go. Anyway, that was a big change, and I enjoyed staying in Afghanistan. Usually aid workers work with other agencies, but we can talk with the military people and other people. So that is a good experience. Anyway, so many issues. Your time is limited. And the next one is, we had an ODA charter in 1992. That is not a law. That is like a decision by the cabinet. And it changed. Development Cooperation Charter in 2023. And now it's modified and emphasized. So in Japan, so ODA should be the focus national interest and shifting from request-based to an offer-based approach. Anyway, so we are forward-looking, aggressive, anyway, And then now, so in Japan, public support for aid needs a role, but not so high in Japan because we have to take care of the domestic issue. So we are aging society, so social security is quite important, and the economic is not so good. That's why we have to take care of the domestic issue. That's why so people in Japan are not strongly supported to provide aid to other countries. And that's why challenge lies in how to communicate the significance of ODA and JEC domestically. We have to appeal how important ODA or aid is to the people in Japan. And this is last slide. And now JEC is covering domestic issues as well. Immigrants matters and facilitating collaboration with the private sector and university. And we have to be accountable for taxpayers. So what the money is coming from the main reason of taxpayers' money, tax. That's why we have to be accountable for the people in Japan. So we need to make an evaluation. So we need to have a short, we need to, bargain for evaluation now actually. By the way, is it mainly for Japanese benefit? So what is for the ODA? Now, one answer is for Japanese benefit. Just for Japanese people, Japanese economy, and Japanese diplomacy or something. It's a matter of practice and currently now in Japan. Time is since up, so thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Shimada. That was a very interesting presentation. The changing landscape of the Japanese ODA move. it used to be simply a donor position, but now they consider national interest first because it's the taxpayers' money. So far in Korea, we are still is kind of request-based offer. Maybe in the future we may be the same like in Japan. Okay, now I'm going to invite the third presenter from Uzbekistan, my colleague, Dr. Shop. He's head of research and director of the PhD program at Tashkent International University. We are the colleague. I'm working as rector, and he's working as the director of the PhD program. He's very renowned economist in Tashkent and Uzbekistan. He served as vice rector in Korea. He's vice president of international relations at Tashkent State University of Economics. Tashkent State of Economics is very, very large and famous, #1 institution in Uzbekistan on the economics side. And also he worked very widely with the international researchers, and he got many projects from the EU, and he's also participating in 2 major Erasmus Plus project currently, and so he travels quite widely, not only Korea. This is first time to Korea, but he traveled to Turkey and Lithuania and many other European countries before, including Sweden recently. Okay, so please welcome Dr. Dilshot.
Thank you. It's my honor. It's my great honor to be here to have a presentation in front of you. Then, when I was 10 years old, I heard about not Uzbek nation, Korean nation, and also when I was 10 years old, I heard about the Korea. Why? Because Korea Daewoo company, this car industry, built car industry factory in Uzbekistan, and also not only this key car industry, also Samsung, LG also are famous in Uzbekistan. That's why we love Korean nation. And also it's a first visit, as our lecturer told, my first visit, and also I impressed this green Korea, clean Korea, and very friendly Korea. We know that most Asian countries, Korea, Singapore, Japan, have their own economic miracles. And as we know, these miracles are related to education. That's why I would like to share some experience in terms of higher education, and also I would like to get some ideas from our professors to our higher education development. And nowadays, the boom has already been started in Uzbekistan in the area of higher education. Why nowadays? Not 10 years old it started. Why 10 years old it started? Because before this time, our higher education institutions didn't or hasn't been recognized as a ranking list. As we say, ranking list is a element of one of the element of internationalization. Our universities didn't get any ranking. That's why our government started to support this idea, and nowadays all universities are focusing on globalization. And one of the elements is academic rankings, research rankings, and so on. And why we didn't have globalization? Because there was not competition. We didn't have any private universities 10 years ago. But nowadays, more than 70 private universities are working in Uzbekistan. One example is our university. I worked as our rector emphasized, public university as a vice president, my last position. But I joined this private university. Why? Because I believe in future of private universities, because government is strictly supporting all private universities to have a development. And our rector also joined our university and is helping in developing one of the most important private universities. And also another issue was the number of students. Number of students was approved by government, because we didn't have any private. That's why public universities get public scholarships with a number of students. It means government approved the number of students. And at that time, enrollment rate was about 10%. Nowadays, the enrollment rate more than 40%. Two times it increased. 2 times. Sorry, 4 times. 4 times it increased. I'm confused. As I told you, also there was no competition in terms of curriculums, because most core universities worked out curriculum programs, and most universities use these curriculums. It means no competitions in terms of academic affairs. That's why it didn't help to be globally. But after the presidential decree, government decree, private universities also started to develop, and also public universities stopped to change curriculums. They started to work out their own curriculums, and they started to have a competition, not only for local applicants, for also international applicants. They started competition, and nowadays you can see some universities in Uzbekistan have international recognition. Why? Because our universities have competence, but they didn't have chance to apply to work with international professors, with international students. And nowadays, some universities started to get recognition internationally. One of them is this Irrigation and Agricultural University. One of them is National University of Uzbekistan and the Technical University of Uzbekistan. And also, government started to pay additional salary, additional bonus for research, and this kind of financial management also are motivating professors to have a research with globally, with international professors. Yes, as a perspective, we can say our higher education system can have some perspectives in terms of international affairs, not only for rankings, but also for academic affairs, for research affairs. We need develop collaboration in terms of research with international professors, with international scientists. That's why I think it's better to attract foreigners, students and professors to join our universities, and it helps to be globally university. And also as I see here a lot of students of Jeju University, and it's our pleasure if they join our university at least one semester. We can have an academic exchange, and also our university can send here students have a one semester academic exchange, and also it helps to have an experience for students, for young generation, and also in the future it helps our prosperity in Uzbekistan. And also introducing joint curriculum programs, and nowadays with the help of our excellent director, our university is developing joint programs with mostly Korean universities and also most high-ranked universities of Korea. And also development of joint research and projects, as we yesterday discussed AI, changing our AI development in education. As beforehand we discussed it with our rector about AI center in our university with the help of Jeju University based on financing of KOICA. And also it's one element of globalization, and also it helps for prosperity and for development of the education system. Thank you for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you for keeping time. You spent 9 minutes 50 seconds.
I have 10 seconds.
Have saved 10 seconds. And Dr. Shimada talked about the ODA. The topic of today is regional collaborations, right? So one topic that he covered was a little bit macro, the economic development side. And Dr. Duchamp mostly talked about education side. The collaboration in education area, that is very important. The human resource area is very critical in the future. And the good news is that when I worked in Uzbekistan almost 2 years, and the keywords over there is internationalization. What internationalization? It's linking with universities in other countries. That is cooperation. So lots of the Uzbekistan students want to come to Korea. Korea is kind of #1 destination for the internationalization. So we are living in a world of educational internationalization. So right now it's one way, but in the future it's two way. So many Korean students may come to Uzbekistan, and then it's more collaboration among the two countries. And it can spread to Thailand, Malaysia, and all over the place. So on the education area, the internationalization is one major mode of the collaboration right now. Okay, now we want to invite Dr. Lee Do-hee from Korea University. He's one of the most famous professors in marketing area, and he served the brand committee of Korea, and he also worked as the dean of the business school of Korea University. But now, not only he's an educator, but he himself is kind of the entrepreneur. He recently established an organization for senior people. As you know, Korea is already in the aging society like Japan, and we have more seniors every year, right? People retired from the universities, retired from the Korean major companies, and they are just going here and there, spending their very precious time, but actively try to organize one organization called Veterans Association, VA, and try to mobilize and encourage the aging people, the senior people, to contribute to Korean economic prosperity. So he has very interesting viewpoint, and maybe the senior issues will be another area of collaboration among the Asian countries in the future. So let's hear what he talks. Welcome, please, Dr. Lee.
Hello, good afternoon. It is my pleasure and honor to be here with renowned speakers and distinguished guests, including President Kim Jong-un. I have been served as a professor of marketing at Korea University for the last 34 years. And just before I was retiring, I established a small startup company for seniors. The name of the company is Veteran Society. Mainly, their company provides education for seniors to prepare their second lives. So, I have experience as researcher and teacher, and also running a small company. In order to survive, we researched a lot about seniors and senior problems, their pain points, and so on. So today what I'm going to say is about combining two experiences together, and I'd like to propose a collaboration among Asian companies for senior business. It's coming back. Is it? Okay, thank you very much. Well, this is a graph for world population aging. So as you can see, people whose age is 65 or more increases quickly. And this is Asian population. As you can see, Japan, South Korea, Thailand, China, including those countries, most of the countries are quickly being aged. So we can categorize these countries into three groups. One, super aged society, including Sri Lanka, an aged society, Vietnam, aging society, aged society, aging society. In that category, there are many countries. So most of Asian countries are being aged. What does it mean to you? Getting old. That means you are facing a big problem because you think that old people do not produce. they need to be cared. Who's gonna care these many people? That is going to be really big problem. For the government, they have to have more budgets for their well-being. Who's gonna provide that money? So we are talking about the problems like that. On the other hand, from the business point of view, this is the market. We have super big market is coming to us. For example, in Japan, Japan's senior business industry has the size of 700 billion US dollars. It's huge. China is 2 trillion US dollars market. Korea is not an exception. Okay, now we are talking about the big problems and big market. Why is that happening? Well, if we talk about something like this, we are looking the people, the old people, with very conventional point of view. We think that an old person must be relaxed at home forever. They don't work. They don't have to be work. They need relaxation. They need to play, So they don't produce anything. That's one way of looking at the people, the old people. They have to consume. They have to buy something. If the number of population is bigger and bigger, they buy more and more. So, in marketing sense, there will be a bigger market for seniors, right? We are talking about totally different two perspectives. One very positive, one very negative. We have two choices. And then we need to understand the people's behavior and value system. As you can see here, this is a very conventional, traditional way of looking at the old seniors. And this is very actively playing seniors. Conventional seniors work for the company and family. They sacrificed their own life. But recently, we can observe the active seniors who does everything for themselves, not for the family, not for the company. They try to do something for themselves, individual well-being. And their relationship is based on strong tie, meaning family, schools, and hometown relationship. It's a strong tie relationship. But the active seniors are seeking weak tie relations, like club members, people who meet just on the street, things like that. And fashion, for these people, wear clothes for convenience and functional purpose. But these people wear trendy and beauty reasons. And things like that. So, if you look at the seniors with this point of view, they are really not productive, and we need to care these people. But if you look at the people like in this point of view, they will create new market. So what we have to do is we have to understand who these people are. We need to understand their lifestyles. Okay, at this moment, try to bear with me. looking at this. This is a amateur baseball league. The pitchers, rounding the hand, meaning what? This is home run, right? So he's running slowly around. What could be his age? Any guess? Any guess?
17.
He was 63 years old. And the other people are 20, 30, 40 years old all together. They are Greek Thai friends. And the red shirt, this guy, is actually myself, me. Thank you very much. So I have many friends with age 20s, 30s, and 40s. Even sometimes, the teenage people too. Let's see this. This is my friend. This is this year picture. He is now 68. And where is this? Kilimanjaro. 5895 meters. He hiked this mountain. First of all, when he sent the picture to me, I was so surprised. How could he? I never can do it. But then another shock to me was his face. So comfortable. So what? This is active senior with 65 years old, 68 years old. Another person. This person is 97. I took this picture 2 years ago. So he is now 99. I took that picture at ski resort Yongpyeong. And actually he skis every day at the ski resort. So these are old people at this moment. Old people are not the old people. They are actually very new human beings. So we have to distinguish the conventional way of living or very active living. There are two different groups in the seniors. Okay, but then you think that the seniors do not have anything. They don't have job, they don't work, and so on and so on. But they are very rich, at least in my opinion. You can see, they have tremendous time, 24 hours a day, times, let's say, 30 years. It's really long time. When you work for the company, it is very hard to have 3 days off or 1 week off. But if you become a senior, every day is off until you die. So it's a tremendous amount of time is given to you. And second, experience. You have very at the peak of experience in your lifetime. And you have much knowledge at the same time. And also, the seniors have freedom. You don't have to attend school. You don't have to go to work. You can decide if you sleep or you go to mountains or whatever. You are free. So what I'm saying is that the seniors have 3 capitals, and they are rich in these 3 capitals. So they can do anything as long as they want to do something. They can do whatever. Now, so what do they do? Well, this is one data. you can see they like to go travel mostly. And this line is very interesting to me. This is social networking. If it becomes, let's say, 70-year-old grandfather, you think that they are not going to make new friends, right? At least to me too. But you can see this is Korean data. They like to spend more time to make new friends than young people. This is very shocking data to me. So, recently, Korean seniors are more active to make new friends, very active. And they like to spend time in sports because of their health care. So this is what they are doing. They are trying to do. And also, they like to walk. About 70% of Korean people like to walk. Seniors like to walk. Japan also like to walk. About 70% too. They like to produce. But then what is the problem of the business in senior market? The problems are these three. If you try to run a business in that market, there are few best practices. There are not many businesses successful so far. So you don't know what is good, what is bad. There's no benchmark. And there is a lack of academic or theoretical reasoning. Professors did not produce any theories on this. Meaning what? You don't know a successful path. And no clear foresight or strategic insight. You don't know which strategy is the best, which way will be successful, you don't know. So, if you run a business in this area, you have to come up with these challenges. Meaning what? The companies are forced to pursue venturous approaches without clear strategy or with unclear confidence. You don't know if that's going to be successful, which means it is tremendous amount of risk. So this is a really big problem to CEOs of senior business company, like myself. So what I propose is that every company in each nation has the same problem. So what I like to propose is that we can get together in one place from Korea, Japan, Malaysia, Indonesia, and Uzbekistan at the same place. Like a businessman and policymakers and professors get together and share their knowledge and experience, and also venture capitalists all together. Then I think we can reduce the risks, and they can help each other. So this is going to be, we can produce collective wisdom by getting together. So I would like to propose the Asia Senior Business Forum to get together. Okay? If we have the forum, we can facilitate sharing of experiences, knowledge, and information. And we can also foster collaboration among these people. And we can develop theoretical frameworks for success also. So, it is my pleasure to offer this forum, and particularly because we are having a Jeju forum here, maybe Jeju Island could be the best place to have that forum. If we open that successfully once, and it's going to be future Davos forum for senior business. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. It's a very interesting proposition to open Jeju Asia Senior Business Forum in Jeju Island in the future. Maybe we'll compete with Jeju Forum itself. Thank you so much. And we have 19 minutes for discussion. So please the speakers come forward to the podium, and it's open. The floor is open, so you can raise any questions to these four speakers. So if there is any person who wants to ask questions, please introduce yourself quickly, and then pick any specific speakers to whom you want to ask questions. Okay? So the floor is yours. Any questions to the speakers? Any questions? Okay. While we are thinking some questions, maybe I can give some questions to our main speaker today, Dr. Lee. I have two questions. One question is that you compared the GPG Korean model and the FLG, the new model for the global South. But when I reflect upon the Korean economic development, especially the consumer electronics industry and automobile industry, we also used FLG model. That's my interpretation. We had, for example, in the automobile industry, we used Japanese technology from Mitsubishi. You know, we got the licensing on the engine technologies on many things. Then our local companies like Hyundai tried to assemble the cars based on Japanese technology, and then the government supported. So we used the FLG model in the development of the Korean automobile industry. The same is true to Korean consumer electronics industry. We used lots of the Mitsubishi technology. We licensed the Mitsubishi technology and Sanyo, Hitachi. And then we assembled the televisions and all the audio products in Korea by Korean companies, Samsung Energy and Daewoo at the time. And then also the government worked in some way. So I don't see the big difference between GPG versus FLG. It looks like we also used the FLG in early time. So how you can compare our FLG model and the new FLG by Malaysia and Chile? So that is my one basic question. And maybe after that I may ask one more question.
Thank you, Chairman. I know your expertise is about international businesses, so yeah, I'd like to ask the question. It's true that although I had a somewhat simple version of this framework, in other papers I have more discussion as mentioning the variation of Korean model development. In the case of Hyundai Motors, that joint R&D with UK-based Ricardo company developed the first Alpha engine. Okay? So, depending upon sector's capability level, you could pursue different mode of collaboration with some flexibility. But in the case of Korea, the foreign partner was not public agency, public, but it's a private company. And what is different from Korea and most of other countries in South is that In Korean cases, we assume there is already existing Korean local company at the leader of focal point. But many countries, the global south, usually the local company very weak. So they just end up inviting FDI and say this is okay. So in the case of Indonesia too, they're very aggressively promoting this nickel ban export and so on. They just invite the Chinese Korean company and they don't see any future plan how to promote local ownership initiative after inviting FDI. So I suggest several stages how you should evolve in the long term.
Okay, thank you. All right. Any other questions? Okay. Then maybe I can ask another question, Dr. Shimada. You have been in the JICA for 20 years, and JICA is much more experienced than Korean KOICA. So I need some of your advice on KOICA. From your experience with the JICA, what the KOICA has to consider in the future in working with like Uzbekistan, Vietnam, Indonesia. Right now, the three the biggest recipient of the KOICA overseas development assistance is Vietnam, Indonesia, and Uzbekistan. And we are basically on the request based, the donor. But what is your prediction on the development of the KOICA, and what kind of advice you may give to them in order to avoid any mistake that JICA has committed in your the history?
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, it's not so easy to answer, but I'm still having ways of what KOICA is doing now. But yeah, one answer is so past 10 years, JICA is I can say it's politicized, more politicized, diplomatic coverage. So going to the diplomatic direction. Yeah, under the late Shinzo Abe-san, yeah, Prime Minister, he was so strong. Yeah, he thought, I suppose, he thought that aid assistance, ODA, is one of the tools for the diplomatic matters. Yeah, that's why. Before the Abe-san, so Foreign Ministry of Foreign Affairs was providing the guidance, so framework to the JICA, and the JICA followed that guidance and they take care of each project. But under Abe-san's regime, so suddenly the cabinet office ordered something directly to the JICA. Yeah, I can say so. It's a little bit politicized, so it's sometimes good. So things are going quickly and going well, but sometimes it's too much politicized and diplomatically. So JICA seems to get trouble. So it's quite difficult to say KOICA should go in which way. Yeah, and yesterday's speech of the foreign minister said, unlike the UK, US, and Japan, Korea's ODA has been increased. Yeah, that is good news. But sometimes it's not good news. I think the Korean people, so KOICA and foreign ministry need to consider. So what should we emphasize? Yeah. So regionally or country by country or sector or something. Yeah. Otherwise, so KOICA will be just a money distributing agency. Yeah. I think that it should be avoided. Yeah. That is my idea. So my idea.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. Any questions? Still no questions. Okay. The President Kim of Hana University. Thank you for your asking questions.
I'm Song Kim from Jejuhanlade학교 University. My small question is directed to Professor Shimada Haru유ki. As for the JICA ODA and say what some kind of loan, say assistance to for example, to Southeast Asian countries, ASEAN. Recently, the situation is we observe some say different situations probably from your era or your say time. That is, China and India become more aggressive in providing, say, loan assistance to ASEAN countries to extend their influence on those regions. And but listening to your presentation, my feeling is Japan is becoming more, say, less aggressive, or say, it's changing some attitude. Previously, say, providing, say, ODA or such, say, assistance is one way to deliver some good culture in terms of politics or other, say, social systems. But it's becoming less active. And these days, while China and India is becoming more aggressive, and we also some, say, difficult situation in Laos or in Sri Lanka, because those countries are suffering from, say, bankruptcy situation, say, owing to, say, those countries abandon, say, assistance, right, and over investment, and I rather because at this time some cultural confrontation is becoming more severe. My perception is this is the time for Japan or America to be more proactive in providing, say, a good kind of loan assistance or ODA, expanding ODA to those regional countries. And so it's quite the opposite, right? And so I hope your, say, explanation why this opposite situation is, say, is happening or is becoming, say, more prevalent these days.
This is also difficult to answer. Yes, and as President says, also, in Japan, they used to be there, so aggressive, no request based. So what do you need? Okay, it's okay. So I'm going to provide any assistance, something. Yes, however, so facing with the competition with China and India, and diplomatically, so we need to compete. We need to win. That is the thinking of the politicians. Anyway, but it work doesn't think so. But anyway, quite precise. But it's not a matter of only Japan, but also other countries as well, US and other donors as well. So yes, we have to respect other countries, received countries. Demand, needs, and we need to know more about what they want to need and how they are living. But nowadays things are changing. Sorry, I can't answer. Give you answer exactly. But anyway, that is my response.
Okay. Any other questions from the floor? To any other speakers? Okay. We have 5 minutes 30 seconds, so we have plenty of time. Any other question? Oh, okay. You can ask.
So all of my thinking in this seeking new mode of cooperation is that it is very important to emphasize how to build local capabilities. And in the regard, Korea has many important lessons, experience to give. I've been to this kind of forum held in Tunisia, Northern Africa. You know, there's Arab Spring or revolution to become more democratic society. But despite revolution, the economic problem was not getting better, but getting worse. One situation is food crisis. You know, and Tunisia has to import a lot of food from abroad, and they don't have enough dollars. But anyway, strange. Tunisia very country with very nice weather. So they used to grow a lot of wheat and grain, but now they end up importing food. Why? Because long aid, long developed cooperation. Why? World Bank, IMF to give the subsidy to food prices to consumers to keep food prices lower. What happened? All the farmers gone because of low prices. Okay? Korea is the opposite. We also had food crisis in 1950-60s, but we are now end up food surplus, rice surplus. Why? We give subsidy to farmers, buying from farmers higher than market prices. So farmer keep spending. Okay? So it's opposite situation with the same amount of resources. So this point is how to build up capability of production sector is important. But that idea is missing in conventional idea development. In Africa, the Western country give a lot of mosquito net to help malaria disease. You know what happened? All the mosquito net producer company dead after this age. It's nonsense. So this is the Korean model is really producing the production sector capability. That's the most important long-term solution to develop problem in the global south.
So local capacity is very important for sustainable development of developing countries. Okay, Dr. Shimada, you have a question?
Question to this has a process of aid. So thank you. So I think so. Japan is aging society, but I understand Japan is super aged society. Thank you for input anyway. And I think so. You raised some problems. So this is not a question. But for senior people, isolation or exclusion from society has to be one of the serious problem. Actually, my father is living alone in my house. I was worried about it. So I think so. Your idea is might be contributing to the people in such kind of environment. Thank you so much. This is my impression.
Thank you very much.
Big supporter for your idea.
Thank you very much.
So I have another question. So this is quite a simple question. So your university is providing English program, on yes or no? Yes. Because our university receives every year 2 or 3 students from Uzbekistan. And but anyway, the main target of the study abroad is which country? Most of some people are going. Korea is a target. Oh, I didn't know that.
Nowadays, more than 100,000 young generation are studying abroad, and also mostly in Korea. Mostly in Korea. And also for as you asked, for receiving students from abroad, most universities are introducing new programs and in English language. And in Uzbekistan, as you know, in our history we had Uzbek language programs and Russian language programs, and nowadays we have also English language programs.
Thank you. Okay, so it's time to close the session, and I appreciate the 4 speakers for their valuable insight to this topic of the regional collaboration, and also I appreciate the attendance of the many participants today. So let me close the session. Thank you so much, and give them big hands.